Hello friends, welcome you back once again in Study Battle. So in the previous video we have discussed a very important topic related to stratigraphy, or we can call Indian stratigraphy. The Vindhyan system or Vindhyan supergroup we have discussed about. So today we will discuss another very important, you can call it just a rock. Okay, so Quartz Pebble Conglomerate. Okay, you would have studied, if you have studied about the cratons or the different types of supergroups, for example Dharwar craton or Singhbhum craton, or all these, if you have studied about Indian stratigraphy, you would have heard this term like Quartz Pebble Conglomerate, and this is short form, it's acronym of QPC. Okay, so QPC means Quartz Pebble Conglomerate. So it can be asked in the examination in the acronym form, so you have to understand the QPC. Okay, so how it occurs, what is its definition, how we can identify. So all these things we will discuss, and most important focus will be on the economic mineral deposits, how they are associated with the Quartz Pebble Conglomerate or QPC. Okay, so that is the topic of today's discussion, means the relationship with different types of mineralization with the Quartz Pebble Conglomerate. So that we will discuss today. So firstly, before we go into the deep or into the deposits, that how the deposits are associated with QPC, we must understand firstly what is QPC. Okay, so QPC, if you understand the term Quartz Pebble Conglomerate, so pebble quartz we can understand, you all know that is a mineral, okay, of silica group, and pebble is the size of sediments. Okay, if you have studied about the Wentworth grain size scale, you would have seen, or you would be knowing about the quartz, pebble, okay, boulder, cobble, pebble. So this is the third in that Wentworth scale, third grain size in that Wentworth scale. So pebble and conglomerate, that's a very important significant sedimentary rock. You all are sedimentary rock, and that is the mechanical sedimentary rock, you can say. And in mechanical it's the rudiceous type of sedimentary rock. So you all are, so quartz conglomerate, that's a type of lithified sedimentary rock, okay, which is composed of the rounded pebbles of quartz. Okay, so conglomerate means the rounded shape of sediments, whereas brachia is the angular shape of fragments, or angular angular shape of sediments. Okay, so this is QPC. And if we talk about the grain size, that how the grain size of each QPC that varies. So they generally greater than 2 mm in diameter and are cemented together in such a way that the rock which is alternating, or the rock which appears, or rock formation, that quite similar to concrete. Okay, so sometimes this rock which is formed as a QPC, it's just like similar to concrete, okay, with which it's often confused by casual observers. Okay, if you are observing that particular strata casually, you may be confused whether it's QPC or whether it's concrete. Okay, so further detailed observation, further detailed investigations, these are necessary in order to differentiate between QPC as well as the cement or concrete, we can solve them. Then we will talk about the how the QPCs are expanded, how we can find in different peninsula of India, different peninsulas of India. So firstly we will talk about the QPC in Karnataka state, Karnataka region we can call them. So QPC in this particular Karnataka state, they represent the angular unconformity. So very prominent angular unconformity in between the Sargur rocks and the Dharwar volcanic sedimentary rocks. Okay, so Sargur group, that is older as compared to Dharwar. Okay, so that's why older group of Sargur rocks and the younger Dharwar volcano sedimentary associated. So Dharwar, that is volcano sedimentary rocks are there in Dharwar system or Dharwar supergroup, association with the Chikmagalur area in the Karnataka state. Okay, so this is the very important point for you to understand. It shows the angular unconformity in between the QPC, in between the Sargur cyst belt as well as the Dharwar system. Okay, so in between these two beds, in between these two rocks, this QPC is oriented. Okay, and if we talk about the older group, which we are calling them Sargur rocks, so they consist of amphibolites, okay, peninsular gneisses, granites, quartz and quartz sericite cysts. So they are important rocks of older supergroup. Older rocks means Sargur rocks, whereas the in younger Dharwar volcano sedimentary rock, they are the amphibolites, quartzite, okay, phyllites, chlorite, schist and different types of volcanic rocks, okay. And one of the most important, that is the banded iron formation or BIF, in which we get most important iron in the Karnataka state. Okay, so this is the differentiation of older supergroup or the older Sargur rocks and the younger Dharwar rocks. Okay, and some minerals, okay, some minerals are also there. The QPCs, they have rutile, ilmenite, pyrite, pyrrhotite, chalcopyrite and rarely uraninite as the major opaque phases. So, okay, these are phases in the rocks. And if we talk about that from where the studies have been done, so consequently to the reporting in 1973 by AMD, the uranium mineralization has been found. So this is important. Mineralization, uranium mineralization in form of uraninite in such QPC from Chikmagalur at the base of the Babavdan group. So Babavdan group, that's very important, one of the basic bets, basic supergroup, basic group of Dharwar system, Dharwar supergroup. Okay, so from there the uranium in form of uraninite that has been found by AMD, okay, and other QPC type of different uranium mineralization, they have also been investigated in some part of Karnataka. So as consequently over 30 or more than 30 occurrences of similar QPCs they have been identified in the state, but only 9 cyst belts are important, and out of which the 4 areas which are very prominent, these are the Chikmagalur, okay, Valkunji, Yelaki and Anantawadi. So these are the districts in Karnataka state, and these districts are very important from the deposition point of view, where the detailed exploration for uranium, including the geological mapping as well as the contouring and exploratory drilling, these systems have been applied for the exploration of uranium. Okay, so uranium investigations, they have been done in these QPC of Karnataka. And gold mineralization, that has also been identified in the eastern Dharwar Craton, Singhbhum Craton in eastern Indian part. So gold mineralization within the Quartz Pebble Conglomerate or QPC of Gorumahisani Badam Pahad cyst belt. So Gorumahisani Badam Pahad cyst belt, that's very important cyst belt in the Singhbhum Craton. Now we will talk about in detail about the Singhbhum Craton. We will talk about what is the importance of the significance of this Gorumahisani Badam Pahad cyst belt. Okay, we will talk it later. But gold mineralization has been found, gold mineralization has been explorated, has been investigated in the QPC of Singhbhum Craton. And gold deposits, they have also been investigated in some other parts. So QPC conglomerate hosted gold deposits, they account for more than half of the global gold production. Okay, so this is very important point for you to understand, that the half of global gold production that is associated with this very important rock which is known as QPC. Okay, so this is very important. And these conglomerates which we are discussing, they are generally specifically restricted to the Archean Proterozoic transition zone. Means the rocks of Archean to Proterozoic transition zone, the transition zone, in these types of this age group, these conglomerates, these QPCs are oriented. Okay, so this is, you can call them as a metallogenic epoch. Okay, metallogenic epoch and metallogenic provinces, these are two other terms, two different terms, we will discuss it later, but you can call them the conglomerate QPCs. They are the Archean Proterozoic transition zone, they are restricted only to this transition zone, and they represent a phase of sedimentation wherein the atmosphere was deficient in oxygen, or we can call them the time span when oxygen was very deficient, then that time span is known as pre-great oxygenation event. Okay, so this is very important for you to understand, that is the great oxygenation event that has taken place at the boundary, means the Archean Proterozoic transition zone. And the conglomerate which is occurring at the base of eastern iron ore supergroup, the Singhbum Craton, that represents a similar Precambrian QPC, okay, which overlies the Archean granite greenstone complexes. Okay, so in iron ore supergroup in Singhbum Craton, these rocks have been identified, and they are generally dominated by the presence of detrital, rutile, chromite, zircon, magnetite and monazite. So these are the minerals which we are economic minerals which we are getting in the Singhbum Craton. Okay, and the matrix, the main dominant matrix, that include the biotite, sericite, chlorite as well as the fuchsite. So these are the matrix minerals which are being identified in this belt. And if we talk about the provenance studies, that what is its significance, the significance from the provenance studies, so they are felsic as well as the mafic components and green schist facies of metamorphism that has been identified in these conglomerate beds. And the sedimentary structures, they are absence, the general absence of sedimentary structures, non-graded nature, poor sorting as well as the lack of pebble orientation, that indicates a debris flow mode of origin for these conglomerates. Means the mode of deposition, means how the mode of deposition has taken place, means the features of these conglomerates, means they are absence, sedimentary structures are completely absent, the nature is completely non-graded, means there is no gradation in the scale, and the sorting is very poor, and the pebble orientation, that is also lacking. So overall these conglomerates, they indicate a debris flow mode of origin. Debris flow mode of origin means the flow was not subsequent, flow was not oriented in a particular direction or in a particular hierarchy. Okay, so this is the significance of these conglomerates. So this is pictorial representation. You can see the radioactive QPC in the left diagram, and the right diagram you can see the fine grain quartz, as here you can see, one second. So you can see here fine grain quartz is there. Okay, this one, the arrow has already been marked, and QPC fine grain pebbles is there. This one very fine grain pebble and coarse grain pebble. So these pebbles are varying in the size. Okay, fine grain quartzite is there, pebble, fine pebble and coarse pebbles, they are also been there. Okay, so this is the pictorial representation. And if we globally, if we talk about the type of deposits we are getting in the QPC, so quartz pebble conglomerate gold deposits represent the largest repository of gold on the earth. So on the globally, the gold we are getting globally, so that is oriented to that is included in the quartz pebble conglomerate. So this QPC is very important from the economical point of view. You are getting different types of minerals, uranium is there, gold is there, okay, and other important minerals are also there here. So the famous deposits in the Withwaterstand Basin, which account for nearly 40% of the total gold production throughout the Earth's history. Okay, so about 40% of gold production overall on the Earth's surface which we are getting, that is accounting only in the Withwaterstand Basin. Okay, and they have great controversial history in the regard to genetic models. They means how these golds have been the genetic processes of their formation, they are little bit point of controversy. Okay, however most researchers include that they are paleoplacious deposits. Okay, though there is different type of theories are there, the controversies are there, but overall the most researchers, what they have studied, what they have subsequently concluded, so these paleoplacers, the placer deposits, these are the paleoplacer deposits, they have been modified by a metamorphism as well as the hydrothermal fluid flow subsequent initial sedimentation. Okay, so firstly the initial sedimentation took place, then the metamorphic activity as the hydrothermal fluid flow, they have also been taking place in these conditions or in these paleoplacers. Okay, so this was our discussion, means how the QPCs are oriented, what is their significance from the economical point of view, where we are getting the QPCs in the globally as well as the Indian stratigraphy. A special focus was onto the Indian stratigraphy. Okay, so this was our discussion, that why we have discussed, that is to just give you a proper idea that how QPCs are oriented, what is their significance. And same is the case with the TTG, okay, tonalite transhemite granodiorite, TTG, sorry, we will discuss it later, but QPC was point of our today's discussion. In next video we will talk about the TTG. Okay, thank you.